My name is Jim Barnes, and my dad is Tom Barnes. He was a dad who spent a lot of time with me, even though he had very little time at home because he was so busy with his work. In the summer of 1971, he got sick, and we weren't sure what it was. It just seemed like he was just sick. And then he went to the doctors, and they realized he had cancer. So he had operations in the fall of 1971, and he was away a lot. When he came back, my mom had told me that they gave him an 80% chance of surviving. And I also remember when he came back, he got it behind a car for the first time, and he looked at me when I was in the passenger seat, and he said, "You know what? I'm not a good driver right now because I haven't been practicing driving, and you need to know that when you go to drive." So he was always trying to teach me about life and what I needed to know. My reaction to his illness was, of course he's going to beat this. He was a Superman to me. But even though I knew he was Superman, I also knew he was human, and I also knew that he could die, and it hurt. It was very difficult for all of us, not just me. So one of the ways he changed is he knew he had a short amount of time, and he had a lot of intensity around me about school and other things, and we didn't get along always because of that. And I really felt badly because of that, because I was a teenager, and I didn't treat him very well sometimes. But my parents decided that none of us children would get to see him in the hospital looking the way he was. Mom called home. I answered, and I said, "Can I talk to Dad?" And she said, "Oh, no." And I heard something in the background, and he said, "Who is it?" And she said, "It's Jim." And he yelled, "Hello, Jim." And that was the last time I heard from him. So Dad died January 30th, 1972, and then as days went on, she explained the plain facts to us, which is life has changed for you. You no longer have a dad who's providing for you, and spend less money, and you all need to, as soon as you can, go work and make your own money and help out the family. And so we did. We all learned to grow up quickly because of this in many ways, and it was very, very difficult for us for at least 2 years. My own life was impacted greatly because my dad was so much of my emotional support in the family. Unfortunately, I think my reaction was to find somebody who could support my emotional connection I had with my dad. And I got involved in a young age with a girl and wound up marrying her very young, which didn't work out. So when I look back at this, what I think is that everybody goes through hard times. I'm not an exception to that. And, it's sort of what doesn't kill you makes you stronger kind of thing, and I don't want to parrot that so much, but it is true that you can build character in the hardest of times. Even though it's bad at the time, it may actually make you stronger in the long run. But it doesn't always. And people can be very vulnerable, and I was at that time.